Welcome to the seminar, 12 p.m. Sunday. Actually, this is a pre-recording. Anyways, we're going to do some learning here, some teaching and some learning. And hopefully, maybe I'll learn something because I'm still, to do each country, to know about each country. There's a lot of history. They teach it in, this is about United Kingdom. They teach it in the schools at United, in England and all that, United Kingdom, the countries. And here we go. I mean, I'm a U.S. citizen. Anyways. All right, let's start this out with this one page. And it's the countries of the United Kingdom. The countries of the United Kingdom is England, Northern Ireland, which is separate from the other part of Ireland as well. And then you have Scotland and Wales. Okay. So there's that's your four countries. But then you got United Kingdom, which is London, which is where the Parliament is, which governs all of it, just like our Washington, D.C. And down here, there's some stats. Just let me go back where I was. Yeah. Okay, so right here we got Northern Ireland, Belfast, England is London, and then these are the little characters, and this is the flag of Great Britain or United Kingdom. They only have four countries, kind of like the 50 states that we have in America, and United Kingdom being, and I'm repeating myself, being like our Washington, D.C., a whole nother separate country to govern the other four countries. London, Belfast, Edinburgh, Cardiff, Wales. Which is a Scottish Parliament is Edinburgh, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. Okay, moving on. Let's, we got to do this in about an hour. So, British Overseas Territories consist of, and these are commonwealths, all right? They govern themselves, not complete, entirely of the English, Parliament, but they all belong to Britain. And as I keep saying about how, the long reach arm of United Kingdom goes a long ways. Most of them are islands now. Excuse me. Anyways, we got Arcoturi and Decala. I have no idea. Cyprus. And it actually pulls up a map about where it's at. The Caribbean, which is right here. Anyways, Anguilla, Bermuda. I got some anti-acid. Let me take a pill. Bermuda, British Antarctic Territory. Yes, they have an Antarctic Territory. So does U.S. and a whole bunch of other countries. So, and it's for research and discovery. And that's the model. And it tells you everything about how big the area is in kilometers and the population. Zero population, but there's 50 permanent in winter, over 400 people in the summertime, 50 people during the wintertime. Permanent. Then you get the British Indian Ocean Territory, British Virgin Islands, the Cayman Islands, Falkland Islands. Not every one of these islands or countries have coins, But we know the Cayman Islands does. I'm pretty sure the Falkland Islands does. I don't have any. Gibraltar, Montserrat, Pitcairn, Henderson, they got some odd names here, right? St. Helena, Ascension, and Tristan da Cunha. St. Helena, Ascension Island. So they got a couple separate areas. Tristan da Cunha, South Georgia and South Sandwich Islands, Turks, Caicos Islands, and so forth. And there's a lot more than that. This map kind of shows you all the English islands there. Okay, good for you. So, anyways, I'm going to take my. So you can stop freaking belching. But all these Pitcairn Islands and stuff like that, all these are owned by the British, etc. All right, we're going to go to. I don't know. What are we going to do? We'll go back here and we'll do Kings and Queens of Britain. 66 monarchs since England became England or Britain, and to follow up into United Kingdom later on in the years. The Saxon kings, starting with Egbert in 827 AD. 839, 856, Archibald, Athelbald, Ethelred, Alfred the Great. I don't know if they have, we're going up to 1,000 years, all that. Let's see if it's actually showing. Yeah, it's showing. All right, good. That's what I wanted, to show that. But anyways, I'm gonna read some text I printed out, and it's gonna take a few minutes because we want to do the history so you get to understand from the 1800s till 2019. Beauty, stop. Anyways, you're gonna start up because I'm talking. So I'm going to read some text and see what you guys think. Everybody ever heard the sun never set on the British Empire? That is actually true, because the sun never set on the empire. Never set on the... I'm never going to get this done. I got interruptions already. Anyways, Queen Victoria, which she took the throne in 1837, she ushered or brought in industrialization, and not all because of her, because of the British Empire, and which was called the Victorian era. Okay? She died in 1901. At the time, she was the longest lasting monarch of the entire years ago, British, from the 500 AD that I was telling you about. So she was like, 64 years old. Or I should say 64-year reign. And British controlled 14 million square miles of territory and actually produced, kind of like the U.S. now, but actually produced around 30% of the world's industrial output. In Europe, not and including England or United Kingdom, everybody wanted territory. So everybody was taking territories left and right. The British colonies, like I said, as you've seen on a lot of coins, they have the English Queen or King George V, the Sixth, etc. And they established colonies in South Africa in 1843, Egypt, 1882. They took over Aden. They had East Africa, and of course, when they finally connected with Cape of Good Hope, all the way to Cairo, they pretty much took over Africa. I mean, we had the French and all that, but but during the Berlin Conference, which this is back in the 1800s or early 1800s, let's see. Yeah. Anyways, the British also was allowed to take over Rhodesia, Nyasaland, and British East Africa, which also included Somaliland and the Sudan under the British control. They also maintained West Africa, which provided support for the British Navy. So, like I said, this is going to be a history lesson, and we're going to show coins and talk about it and all sorts of stuff. But this kind of gives you an idea. India at the time was under private control, which everybody probably knows, or most everybody knows. If you watch Johnny Depp and Pirates of the Caribbean and all that crap, all that actually good videos, and the British East India Company, they kind of bring that out a little bit, the old Spanish, treasure and British East India Company. 1850. It was up to 1857, and then they had a conflict, and the they took over India and transferred in 1877 to England. So that's when India started creating, or I should say Great Britain started putting coins with their, empress, because Queen Victoria ended up with the title of being the Empress of India, and they all the way through the early 1900s, when King George V came around. They still had property. They still pretty much owned India, and so they're not. It's not like that anymore. A lot of like I said, the British have pulled back their control of these countries from long ago. They also established control of the Malay Peninsula and acquired lease of Hong Kong. They actually leased the property from for Hong Kong in China, which everybody knows Hong Kong is no longer part of the British rule or British. It's all they joined back with China. But they were also able to end the Opium Wars. If anybody goes back to schooling, opium was a big deal all over the world, and the cause of it was just like the cartel of South America. Well, they had the cartel of China doing the opium thing. They also held Australia. Starting in 1829, give or take, etc. And Queen Victoria was like, she took everything. She wanted the world. And you talk about world domination with the Germany, or Nazi and all that. They were doing it. They were doing it long before German. They were taking over the world, and if they had their way, they would have had the United States or North America territories. anyways, they also included West Indies, the Anguilla, Antigua, Bahamas, Barbados, Barbuda, Belize, the British Virgin Islands, the Cayman Islands, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Jamaica, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia's. I mean, they just had them all. The Grenadines, the Turks, the Caicos. Anyways, but they couldn't control, so the countries or the islands had their own little governing, which was pretty much a Commonwealth of British. Like we have a Commonwealth, Virgin Islands, and etc. that we've had in the past. But then Queen Victoria passed away in 1901. And everybody, as I said, they celebrate the living on the coins or the reign of that king, queen, and all that. So does China. Or at least China used to. And so Queen Elizabeth in the 1800s, 1830, whatever I said it was on all coins minted for any of these provinces or territories, islands, and they still are today. But monetary value has changed. They went from decimal, they've gone through a couple different varieties of changes in their denomination and what they come up with. I'm still confused with it. But a lot of it's, they demonetized them and demonetized, the coins as they go by year and take the money back and remelt it into something else. And of course, it's getting harder and harder to get coins that are, there you go. Good for you, Dime Digger. Anyways, getting back, then King Edward VII, when she passed away, King Edward VII took over, and he was a gigolo. He was a much-loved king. He loved horse racing. He loved gambling and women. No! Anyways, he had all social graces for sporting and horse racing. He had his own horse that won in like 1909. But he passed away in 1910. He had, where was it? Let me go back a little bit. Queen Victoria had a ton of kids. And I don't think I put it down there. I don't think I put it in my text. But anyways, there's like 50 million freaking kids and grandkids and all that stuff. But anyways, we went to Edward VII. And he married Alexandria of Denmark in 1863. And they had 6 children. And then, of course, Edward died and George V took over. And he didn't expect it, but it happened. He married Princess Mary of Teck, which was his dead brother's fiancée, Edward VII. So, George got to have, Edward's fiancée overall as far as, his wife. The problem with George V, we all ended up in the first World War I, in 1914 to 1918. And then, of course, the British also had problems with Ireland, which ended up separating Northern Ireland from Ireland, the NRAs, if you remember all the bombings and everything else. And that's, that's not too long ago, back in the 30s. So British was able to obtain part of Northern Ireland as their country, as well as, the Scotland and Wales. Okay, but anyways, he passed away. Like I said, every year, or whoever is reigning at the time gets to get their selfie on a coin. Will we celebrate dead presidents? And I keep saying it's like morbid, but at least they celebrate, as they are living. It's like a living will, or whatever. But then nobody knows that they almost had another king, King Edward VIII. Okay, but he renounced the throne because this American woman Mrs. Simpson was her name, didn't say who, but Mrs. Simpson, in 1936. He decided he didn't want the throne, so he took the title of Duke of Windsor. So I guess if you don't want to be king, you can become a duke. And then George VI was actually, followed in 1936, took over till 1952. Now this guy was a shy guy. He's nervous and all that. He probably did, crack. No, I'm just kidding. He had a very bad stutter. Like some people have lisp and stuttering problems. But his wife and his mother supported him. Queen Mary supported him to keep him going. And of course, he had to go through the World War II. So King James the Fifth and King George VI had to go through World War II, starting in 1939. And if it wasn't for Mr. Winston Churchill and pushing for the Americans to help out in the war, we probably wouldn't have a country right now. We'd be like German, the New World Order, which, is on our dollar bill. The little pyramid with the eye on it, Cyclorum. Yeah, the New World Order. Well, that's what Hitler was trying to create. But he passed away in 1952, and it was also during his reign created the National Health Service, something that we never seen in our life, in our past. And then you got Queen Elizabeth II, and she's the longest reigning monarch, okay, of Great Britain, United Kingdom. She is, she's up to like 90 years old now. Who knows? In 2015, she actually outbeat Queen Victoria, which is her great-great-grandmother, and became the longest reigning monarch of all of British history. So, God save the Queen. Okay? We should be seeing a new king and queen coming up. I don't know who. But I don't, like I said, unless she lives to 105, 110, she's doing real good. But anyways, yeah, this is just a little history clip, all right? Kind of give you an idea of what we got going on. So we're going to talk about coins. And as you notice, I told you about let me get rid of my keyboard here. I don't need it anymore. Right here is a gift I'm giving away. One of the #1 prizes. If you didn't watch my video to portray it, this is the video you're going to want to comment on and be a subscriber. So we'll get into that, rules and regulations, and show you the coins. Excuse me, I'm going to smoke. So half an hour to an hour long, and the best I can do. All right, move this out of the way. British. All right, I'm going to show you my coins. That's a 66 half penny. or halfpence, which are no long. It's no longer. It's a shit penny, halfpenny. No longer valid or monetized in the kingdom. That's what you would consider decimal coins. Okay. Decimal coins is something that they got rid of, so everything is a whole number now. British pound equaling blah blah blah, sterling, whatever. 1 pound is sterling. So, and like I said, I'm learning it too. Here's a halfpenny in 1979, and 1971 they started getting rid of the decimal system. So I'm not sure when this ended, the halfpenny, but that's one of the part of the decimals. They no longer have the halfpennies anymore, and they're no longer legal tender. And that's a 79 half. Then we're going to go to the penny. We're going oldest to newest, okay? This is like 1875. Oh, wait, this is a halfpenny. Apparently I had that in the wrong order. This is the oldest. And that's young Elizabeth with the bunhead, whatever you want to call it. But that's Queen Elizabeth, 1875 halfpenny. Not too shabby. It's it's rubbed. It's rubbed a lot. Made of bronze. So there's that coin there. And like I said, if I mess up, I mess up. Here's Valehead Vicky. This is 1900. She passed away in 1901, so this is a year before they stopped minting these coins. Okay. And that's Valehead. That's a 1900. Now, as far as mint marks and all, I already did that on my last seminar about mint marks and foreign coins and England and all that, where these were minted, or you could, I've got a lot of information on that for you guys. So there you go. Valehead, pretty coin. Now, my collection consists of every denomination, and that's what I'm trying to do, of 20 coins. Who cares about Prince Harry? Anyways, must be something going on. 1916, this is King George V. Okay. Like I said, King Edward the Seventh passed away in 1910. So this is 6 years after the date. King George V. 1 penny. And then, of course, it's got the Britannia on the back. Alright. But yeah, every denomination and different variety. And a different variety consists of, the selfie being changed. This is young Elizabeth. 1962. They call it the young head. Something like that. And this is a 1 penny. English. Not Canadian. Because it's got the Britannia on the back. Very beautiful coin. No, don't look at these prices. It's just a rough estimate of what the value of them are. And that changes up every day. And in 20 years from now, it could be worth $6. Who knows? It all depends upon the auctions and where economy is at the time. But I like to put it down there because, of course, I don't sell these coins. I've given a few away in my collection, planning on replacing them eventually. But there's a 1 penny coin. And then, like I said, remember I said about pre-decimal. They don't do penny coins anymore. They don't do 1 pences or 1 penny. But this is a 1 penny. And penny back in the day was they used to put one D on it, or which means denarius, which is Roman. And like I said, if you watch Ken Peavy's older videos about the denarius, because he had a couple quizzes. There's it's not a young head, but it's Elizabeth, 1979, and that's the one new penny. Okay, apparently they changed it to one new, or the new penny was when they were changing over in 1971, 79, somewhere around there. The denomination to getting rid of the pre-decimal, and they still kept the new penny until they finally got rid of it out of their circulation. And this is 84. Like I said, it's not in order. Thought I had it in order. Doesn't matter. Different variety. If you look at the variety of it, this is a lot smaller coin, and also it's got a different KM number, 927, 915. So 927. Yep, 1984. Okay, it is in order. And then in the back you got the right there where it says new penny. So anyways, a different variety of a coin. And then we get into the 2 pences. Yeah, they had 2-cent pieces too, just like we did way back in the 1800s. And yes, the idea is, so we're learning something. I don't know if I can get that any better than that. Well, anyways, it's a 1985 2-pence piece. 2 pence, okay? Not new pence, new 2 pence. And that's the crown version of her. And this one going back, okay, see, I don't have them in order. This is the 2 new pence in 1971. Like I said, they're dwindling out in their monetary system to get rid of the decimal, the 3 pence, the 6 pence, the crown, the half crown, the shillings. They were getting rid of them. And we'll turn it over. Yep, right there. Of course, I got this one backwards, and this is the what do you call it? The front, the obverse, and I got it backwards in the split. Oh well, no big deal. It's not hurting nothing. And then we're gonna get to the half farthing. Now, don't ask me. I have no idea what it's equivalent to, but I know they don't make them anymore. This 1844 half farthing, which goes back to young Queen Victoria. She's still got a chin on her. She's ugly as hell, but she's still got. Anyways, yeah, she's still got a chin on her. But that was when she was young. Got the bun head, and this is very fine, extra fine, very it's worth all of $12. But yeah, that's an old coin. That's probably my oldest one I got right now. Maybe, give or take. I can't get that to. Let me get my fingers out of the way. Nope. The back I can't get you to see. But anyways, it just says half farthing. Very nice coin. I was happy when I scored that one. I bought it. I can't remember how much I paid for it. This is a 1 farthing. They're still making farthings all the way up to 1970s and stuff. But this is King George VI. 1 farthing, 1945. During World War II. And it's got the bird. Oh, yeah, the bird. I got it right. I flipped it right. Okay, it's got the little pinch on there or whatever. Very nice coin. And I know there's coins out there that I don't need, or that I need for this United Kingdom collection, but I only wanted to go 20 coins, 20 varieties only, and I'm up to like 40 varieties for the United. They made so many different varieties, not to mention the commemoratives that they put out. They're like the state quarter program of the United States. We're at 35 minutes already, so we're gonna move on real quick. The 3-pence piece, and this one I just got from POMZ, and yeah, that's about the value of what it's worth. It's worth less in silver value, but the coin value is a little bit more. And that's King George V. Okay? His brother, King George VI, his face goes the other way. Or something like that, and he looks young. That's a 3-pence piece. No longer makes it because it's this is a 3-cent piece. This is a thick coin. I mean thick. Bronze, whatever. But it's a 1967. And it's got this some type of thingamajigger on the back. Oh, it's nickel brass. And this thing is got thick as all heck. I mean, it's really thick. But I have one, so I'm happy. Now, I explained the KM numbers. Though that's what this identifies this coin as to a book, Kraus and Meyer or whatever their name was. And they came up with the categorizing the coins. So that would be the KM number, or sometimes the Y number, which is another Yeoman is another book that they put out. Another guy puts out. And this is a 5-pence. Yep, 5-pence. Okay, you're welcome, David. All right, 2005 5-pence. So they got rid of the 6-pence. As you can see, they went to a 5-pence, so they made it easier. It's like a nickel, so everything's on 100 now. The pound is on 100. The crown is a $5 coin, stuff like that. And then they still keep the sovereign. Sovereigns, which is gold. I don't have any of them. But anyways, to make a long story short, they started going to 5-pence. But getting back to 6-pence, this one's really wiped. It's from 1893 to 1901. And of course, Queen Elizabeth, and this is the Balehead. And at the time, it was scrapped worth $1.40. It's probably only worth 50 cents now. Who knows? But I just put it down there of some type of value. Because as a collector, this is definitely constitutional. There's not much to show. It doesn't show. There's no date. We'll look at the back, and it's a 6-pence piece. But it's a Queen Vicky. Hey, Vicky. All right, now we're gonna go to another 6-pence, which is George VI. Yeah, look how young he is too. Yep, and he had to worry about World War II. His brother, King George V, he was he was a lot older when he got into office. There you go. And this is a 1948, and believe it or not, it's copper nickel. Why is it copper nickel? Because they were trying to save on valuable precious metals. And then we have the Queen Elizabeth 6-pence piece. And this is a 1955. And as I said, these were still in circulation all the way up for quite a while. And then you could actually get an 1800s 6-pence piece in your pocket change back then. Wouldn't that be nice today? All of us coin roll hunters pulling out 6 pence and 3 pence pieces out of the change. Well, you know, like in the 70s, that's when they started disappearing. Just like our coins, just like our wheat pennies. Even though we still get some here and there, but they don't do the 6 pence pieces anymore. And Queen Elizabeth, of course, she started around, what was it, 1950 something, 54. And then you got a 10 pence. Like I said, they started doing their penny, nickel, dime, or 1 pence, 5 pence, 10 pence, 15, 20 pence. They don't do a 20. Well, they do a 25 pence, but it's usually a commemorative. I'm going to get to that here in a minute. So we're at 40 minutes. Okay, I got to hurry up. The 2010 pence. There's another 10 pence with older Queen Elizabeth. And she gets even older than that. But that's 2000. Then they go to the 20 pence piece. Okay. Oops, sorry. Did I flip it the wrong way? Of course I did. And these are cool. They're all stop sign variety, 8-sided, 2, 4, 6-sided. And then that was the young head, or the young version, crown version, and then a little bit more of a crown version. I can't remember what the varieties they call it, but I had both of them. And then they go to the 25 pence. And these are commemoratives. These I just got from Palm Z. And I put them in my collection. They're the size of $1, an Eisenhower dollar. We'll do a comparison. Okay, there's the Eisenhower dollar. Put it over the top. The only difference with the English 25 pence, which this is the same size as the... Really? I hate it. I keep getting notifications. Only 100 a freaking minute. Anyways, these size coins, which is the same size as the Eisenhower dollar, is 1 crown. But this one happens to be a 25 pence commemorative. And this is the wedding of Queen Elizabeth. Okay. And then also they did her birthday as a commemorative, which is a 25 pence. Show you the back. And this is, they did a birthday celebration for her and put it on a coin. Commemorative. This one goes back a little bit. It's a 1977. This is a proof. 25 pence. And it's a Silver Jubilee. So, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, 1977, Silver Jubilee. But these are all made of copper nickel. Nothing to write home about, but same as our American Eisenhower dollar, made of copper nickel. We're running out of time. I just might have to start the stream earlier. Anyways, these are Boy Scout 50 pence piece and a 50 pence piece. And as I said, they started putting themes on the back of their 50 cent pieces, or 50 pence. And that's what you have. Which 50 pence is still, as you see, they still use it, like I said, $1. Then you got a 1997. Make sure you guys can see it. That's a £1. Kind of like our dollar. Now the British pound is worth more than American dollar. These are real thick. These are 1 pounders. Kind of like the $2 and $1 goldies that Jim Melbourne finds. But this is England. These are no longer acceptable. They demonetized these pounds. Here's a 2014 pound. And nothing on the back. This is the shield variety. This is the shield that's on those shield coins. This is the 2014. And this set here is the 2015. Or I'm sorry, 2013 set. Okay, and that forms a shield, just like this shield right here. Okay, you got Scotland, and you got Great Britain, you got Ireland, and then you got England. And that's the 4 countries that, well, England owns. United Kingdom. And then in 2017, which I was so happy to get this coin, in, before it got circulated, it's UC9, but it's uncirculated BU. Has the barcode for security identification, and all the pound coins after this year has to be returned to the bank. They're no longer valid as a monetary value. And it's got the pretty flower. And these are called sandwich coins. Sandwich, yes. They're pressed together. You got the copper or brass outside, and then whatever nickel, copper. And will you stop commenting to me, people? I'm running out of time here. It's 46 minutes. Anyways, nickel brass, copper, nickel plated. So that means there's probably a steel probably steel. It's probably steel clad. All right, then we get to the shilling. They no longer use the shilling anymore. It takes 5 shillings to make a crown. And a crown is like a $5 piece. Or $5 coin, whatever. But anyways, this is also made out of copper nickel shilling. And with young Elizabeth on it, 1963, as you can see, young head. Then they made a 2 shilling coin. England is like, you're never going to collect England coins compared to the United States coins, even though, yeah, there's so many different varieties, so many different years. And they're going back 1,500 years of a society, You get into hammered coins back in the 1600s. But anyways, Queen Elizabeth, 1965, which is young head or whatever, the shoulders, which you see on the Canadian coins. And I'm not going to show you a Canadian coin because everybody in the U.S. knows what a Canadian coin looks like. It says Canada on the back, whether it's got a beaver or whatever. But on the face, it has these images. And this is George V. This one I just got from one of my buddies in England. It's a half crown. And hey, it's silver, baby! It's worth a couple dollars. 50% silver. So that was my first half crown. And I had already had a crown. But Palm Z sent me three of them, which one is the giveaway, second prize. But here's a 1951 5 shillings. It's 1 crown. And apparently it's George VI, which is kind of like the first year or so. Don't quote me. But King George VI. And beautiful horseman on the back. Not the Britannia and all that. Beautiful. But it's made of copper nickel. I don't think there's no silver crowns that I have. Here's a 53 that's a little bit less money. But I got these from Palm Z in 1953. And then the shields from the Ireland, and they got them all separated. Circle with the Jubilee crown and all that in the middle. Made of copper nickel. Very nice. These are uncirculated proof. I think this, yeah, this one's circulated. Same with this one. Is uncirculated. This is 65. And this is not the one I'm giving. This is mine. This is a proof. Proof or uncirculated? Yeah, uncirculated. Churchill. And I bought this a long time ago. Long time ago. Like I said, it's the first common guy on a coin that in British history was put on a coin. And then now they just put anybody on the back of the coin or anything on the back of the coin. All right. Almost there. And then got 9 minutes. Okay, Bermuda. Look. God save the Queen. Nova Scotia. 1864. Younghead. Or Younghead Victoria, that is. Victorian days. Here's Ceylon, which is now Sri Lanka. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Ceylon back in 1944, which they changed their name to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is how you pronounce it. Beautiful scalloped coin. I like that. It's the only one I have. And British Empire. The long arm of the British Empire. South Africa. I think that's King George VI. 1940. Okay, South Africa. South Africa is now their own country. And they put their own people on there now. There's another Younghead. 1871, or the bond. Anyways, Queen Victoria. Very nice coin. I mean, I can show you the backs, but yeah. But same with Canada. Canada is another one that's ruled by the, well, use the same thing. Here's Cayman Islands. Damn, the Queen is everywhere. She's watching you. That's a 10-cent piece. Here's India. This goes way back. 1887. 1/4 Anna. And that is the crown portrait, I think. I'm pretty sure. Or bun head. The bun head. Queen Victoria. And then it just says India on the back and the date. That was when she was the empress of India. Here's a Hong Kong nickel. Oh, okay. Compliments, or I should say, tribute to Ken Peavy. There's the Hong Kong nickel. And it's all because of the British we have a Hong Kong nickel. So there's a 1949 Hong Kong Pui. There's only 15 million of them made. Made of nickel brass. Very beautiful coin. Here's another nickel brass one. And this is a 1958, but it's made in Jamaica. Jamaica, man. $1 coin. Okay. As I said, they changed their monetary value to the British pound, or $1, or everything at 100, kind of like the American currency. And this is what we got going on here. All right, get these all. Can we get this all showing here? Yeah, we can get it showing. We'll just push it back a little bit. There we go. All right, those are the giveaways. All right, and we got 5 minutes. Okay. In order to enter, you must be publicly subscribed on this video. that I'm about to release. This will really be released Sunday at 12 afternoon, 1 p.m. Anybody, if you didn't watch my other video of putting this out, this is first place. If you are in England, because these are the British Shield coins, each one makes up part of the shield of Great Britain. And then it's got my Oldies and Goodies logo, which is cool. You know, it's kind of like a, swag. You're getting something from Oldies and Goodies. This was compliments of Palm Z. If you're in England and you don't want these, even if you're in the United States, if you don't want these, this is first place. If you don't want it, then you're going to settle for a 68D, 1 or 2. One or the other, okay? 1968D, 40%er, okay? $50 Franklin. That's first prize. There's only going to be 2 winners and 2 prizes handed out. So if you don't need this, you don't want these coins here, you have a chance of getting a 40%er. This helps out my brothers in United Kingdom, Great Britain, which I have many friends there. The second prize is going to be this 1 crown, Winston Churchill, Young Head, 1965, copper nickel, second place. Same thing, United Kingdom. If you don't need this coin, you don't want this coin, I don't mind shipping it back. You have a chance to get the 40%er instead. So that's how it's going to work. Publicly subscribe, leave a comment below. I'm going to do a comment picker after Ken Peavy's stream of his gifts, or the gifts that the community is giving out. And that'll be Monday night. So come Tuesday morning, there should be a video with the winners that comment on this video. 3 minutes. Okay, excuse my part. All right. Also, coming up next. Okay, let's see if I can do this. No, not that one. Coming up next, we're going to transition to Million Pennies Project. This is the vlog site. Description is going to be below for Ken Peavy's. This is his main site. And if we go to this, I can scroll down and show you what's going on. Okay, if you're watching this, it was 12 to 1 o'clock. Rare Coin TV is coming on at 1 o'clock. Hopefully I'm not going to stream over him a little bit, but I'm just about done. I just subscribed to him. I never seen him before in my life, so he's got like 100 or so subscribers. But he's going to be coming up next, and as far as the playlist, we have Mantic Coins coming on at 3, Hoogie's Hobby Shop at 4, we got Blues Coins at 5. Ooh, wow. Beauty, stop it. 8 o'clock is Trey's Treasures. He's a, these are all great people in our community. And then Ken Peavy's coming on doing the big show, which is pretty much everybody a giveaway, and I've already said that. All right. So we're going to go back and transition, close that off. And we're going to say, leave you with this. Everybody have a good night. Odie's out.